Be willing to change, to try something new. Keep your mind open and fluid and flexible. Be willing to accept feedback from your environment and correct your course. This is a key quality of peak performers. They're not rigid, they're flexible. Remember, it's not what you have, but what you do with what you have that separates winners from losers. It's not what happens to you, but how you respond to what happens to you that counts. In the final analysis, your response to the adversity of life is the real measure of who you are and what you're made of.
It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak. If you lack talent, you can't sit back and say, I'll start in half an hour. I can't do that. I gotta start now. And then after I get back from starting, I gotta start again. And then when I get done with that run or that study session, if it wasn't good enough, I gotta go back again. Because repetition is what taught me everything. So you can honestly outwork anything. I had to stop thinking normal. I had to stop thinking normal. I can no longer be a common man walking around doing common things.
Build momentum. Build confidence and momentum with each good decision that you make from here on out. You can do it. Anyone can do it. We live in unique times. We live in one of the rarest times in human history where you can choose almost all the input that comes your way. Whether it's the movies that you watch, the books you read, the podcasts you listen to, you can choose to be inspired. Do that. Do that and be the hero of your own movie.
Because this is why it is. People forget about anything that you can think of. You need to love pain to be an athlete. And I know, no pain, no this, whatever, all the, oh my, no, this is real. You need to love pain. However, mentally, physically, love it. You need to love it.
If I want to be good, I gotta wake up in the morning, I gotta do the extra work.
That's what it takes. To do anything successfully in life, you've got to want it as bad as you want to breathe.
Do that. Do those things.
The longest time in the world is the hesitation between thought and action. It can actually be forever. You can hesitate for 1 second to get started on something, a workout, a project, a task, something that you know you should do. You can hesitate for 1 second. That 1 second of hesitation, all of a sudden it turns into 5 seconds, and then 10 seconds, and then 10 minutes. And then just like that, you drifted into the eternity zone. 1 second became an eternity because something that was gonna happen is now never gonna happen, ever. Why is that? Because you hesitated. So don't take that chance. Instead, take action. A body in motion tends to stay in motion. A body at rest tends to stay at rest. You've had enough damn rest.
I got tired of losing. I got tired of coming up short. I got tired. I want to move to the nicest neighborhood. I want to fly first class. I want to go to Hawaii. I made a decision. Enough is enough. It's showtime. In order for you to go from one level to the next level, in order for any woman to transition, for any man to transition, the thing that they want must be greater than the thing they currently have. Humans do not transition to another level when they're comfortable with the level that they're on. You only go to another level when you say, enough is enough. I want you to live the life you were meant to live. You hear me? Not the life that was given to you. You deserve to see what your life would look like if you gave 120%. And what I need you to do is I need you to look at yourself in the mirror and say, come on, stop playing. I deserve to see what my life would look like if I gave 120%. That's lion mode. And you gotta get to a place where you start executing.
Making a freaking plan is the easy part, and you have to understand if you don't execute on the plan, if you don't get up in the morning when you're feeling tired, scared, if you don't execute, you're not just cheating yourself, dude. You're cheating your family, you're cheating your employees, you're cheating your team, whatever you're a part of. It's bigger than you, man.
Every time you tell your sad, pathetic story, all you do is you reinforce the fact that you're sad, you're pathetic, you're undeserving. Effectively, you reinforce the fact that you're okay with being a loser. I don't want you to be a fucking loser. What if you told people the story of, hey, I had a fucked up life, but I don't want to tell you that. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do next, and I'm going to go out and do it.
If you're good at running, all you want to do is run. If you're great at reading, you have several books. But we don't do those things that we're not good at.
Wherever you want to go, to ensure when you come back to the gym, it's like that best friend you haven't seen forever.
Years go by. When you see them, boom, not seconds pass. Not a second will pass. You won't miss a step. When you're progressing for success in the gym.
And guess what? I had to get up even though it was hard, and I had to take ownership of my life, take ownership of my time, take ownership of my day. And if those of you messed up, why? Because you don't understand think, act, eat, rest. We're talking about a schedule. I realized that my strength is in my routine. Why? Because I'm not as strong as I thought I was. I'm not as intelligent as I thought I was. It's in my routine. It's what I do every day repeatedly. The DNA of your success is in your routine. You're not as deep as you think you are. You gotta find a routine. I'm getting up at 3 and stick with it. I'm getting up at 5 and stick with it.
This workout, the body weight beatdown, full body weight stuff. 6-part module, meaning there's 6 parts of the body. We got shoulders, which is a push. We got back, which is a pull. Chest, another push. Arms, basically with bicep stuff. Triceps, we're gonna do a pull right there. Hit abdominals and legs, 6 things. We're gonna do 2 cycles of that. Round robin style. 2 sets per each exercise for 1 rotation, 1 cycle. Then we'll go into the next cycle. Every single set to failure.
You have to go to a different focus. The focus has to be so heightened that very few people, they even understand that, but they have it in them. They have it in them to go there.
The more you do things that are natural to you, the less competition you have. You escape competition through authenticity, by being your own self.
I knew I was going to do something different, and I knew I had to put like my heart and soul into this bodybuilding. I had to change my life. I had to. I didn't want to. I had to. It was my destiny. And honestly, like looking back on my life, it's almost like a movie that played out, that was predetermined. Deep down, I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, out of 365 days, you're gonna have a bad day or 2, but I'm trying to tell you, the strength is in the routine. Find a routine and stick with it. No more dreaming. Dreaming is over. I need specifics. What are you doing on Monday? What are you doing on Tuesday? What are you doing on Wednesday? You need to be very specific. It's time to put your pieces together of your puzzle. Nobody gave me this. I earned it. Life wasn't a crystal stair for me. Didn't nobody give me a network. I earned the network. I worked my way to the NBA. I worked my way to the NFL. Everybody say, E, how did you crack the code? I grinded my way through the code. That's how I cracked it. I got up every day at 3. I don't care what the economy is doing. I don't care who the president is. Nobody helped me to get here. I had to get up. I had to go to class. I had to read. I had to study. I had to write. I understood that the dream is real, but the lifestyle is realer.
Discipline is something you dictate. Motivation won't make you exercise every day. Discipline will. Motivation won't stay up late and finish a project for you. Discipline will. Motivation isn't going to get you out of bed in the morning. Discipline will. Remember that the pain right now will absolutely pay off in the future.
And ain't nothing you can't have if you're willing to work for it. If you're willing to stick in there, if you're willing to stay, if you're willing to fight, it ain't nothing you can't have.
Discipline your body, free your mind, get up early and go. Get after it, and you will become the person you want to be.
It can't find me, doesn't even know where to look. And it dawned on me, fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of our imagination, causing us to fear things that do not at present and may not ever exist. That is near insanity, Qatar. Now, do not misunderstand me. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice.
So what if you were molested? So what if you were beaten? So what if you were mentally and emotionally abused? Those are all superpowers now, because you are the type of person that went through that and came out the other side a stronger person. You have more resiliency.
It doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. Stay predictable. Stay consistent. And the reason why many of you are not getting it is because you're not consistent. You start and you stop. You get pumped up. You start strong, and then somewhere in the middle you quit. You have a little success, but you don't experience exponential growth because you're not consistent. You gotta be persistent. You gotta be locked in. You can't scoreboard watch. Too many of you scoreboard watching. Every time you do something, you looking up to see the score. You stopping working to look at yourself. You not grinding. You glaring. You should be grinding and you looking at the score. The score is what it is. The score ain't about to change because you looked at it. Keep playing the game. Keep grinding. Keep working. And that other stuff will take care of itself. I'm challenging you to get from where you are. I'm challenging you to stop settling. I'm challenging you to stop accepting the life that was given to you. And I'm challenging you to give 120%. If you're going to do what you say you're going to do, be what you say you're going to be, you're going to have to lie me out. You a gazelle, you're going to come up short. You a gazelle, you're not always going to get what you want out of life. You a gazelle, you're going to have an average experience. You a student, I need you in lion mode. You a teacher, I need you in lion mode. You an entrepreneur, I need you in lion mode. You trying to lose weight? Lion mode. You can't do nothing significant in gazelle mode. Nothing. Nothing impressive happens in gazelle mode. Nothing happens in run mode, give up mode, quit mode, scared mode, fearful mode. Nothing happens. Everything happens in lion mode like I'm coming to get you. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity with all your might, with all your soul, with all your heart. You focus on this, and tomorrow will take care of itself.
You need to be the master of your emotions, not let them affect you.
There's only one way. Get up and go.
But you have to go to a place of fear, of suffering, of pain, of doubt. And that's when your mind, if it knows it's not going to quit, it opens up. And once it opens up, that's my 40% rule. Once you can open your mind up when it knows it's not going to quit, it finds more.
Hey, I'm ready to go. I got to be there. I got to show up. I got to be ready. I got to treat this game like it matters more than anything.
That's the reality. We are more resilient. We are more emotionally strong, mentally tough, and we can deal with so much shit. But we have to first let go of the mental crippling crutch that we carry, which is this victim mindhood.
All the shit that you have to do when you're going through BUDS training, the 6 months of breaking you down and building you back up, they teach you could do anything just by making you do anything. So you will understand how you can pass your limits. What you thought your limits were are no longer your limits.
It hurts, it's heavy, but it builds you up. Every time you wanted to quit, every time life tried to break you, you chose to stand tall. That's what makes you great. Today ain't just about a piece of paper. It's about the grind, the sleepless nights, the sacrifices, the prayers you whispered when nobody was watching. It's all about those moments when you could have folded, but you didn't. You see, the underdog story is the realest story there is. Because when you come from nothing, you appreciate everything. You hustle different, you love different, and you lead different.
You have to go to a different focus. The focus has to be so heightened that very few people, they even understand that, but they have it in them. They have it in them to go there. But you have to go to a place of fear, of suffering, of pain, of doubt. And that's when your mind, if it knows...
Take the path of maximal responsibility. Not because you should, even though you should. That's not why. It's because that's the pathway of maximal adventure.
I am not like everybody else. I don't want to be like everybody else. I have something inside which is burning. And I look around and this life and everything I see is not for me. I'm supposed to be something different. I have to be something different.
Right? When I let go of that 10 years ago, that I was a victim of sexual abuse, that I was a victim of physical abuse, that I was a victim of being bullied, that I was a victim in every category. And I realized, you know what? All those things I went through, and I'm still standing. I'm still going strong.
All life forms strives to the max of its potential except human beings. All life forms strives to the max of its potential except human beings. How tall will a tree grow? As tall as it possibly can. You never heard of a tree growing half as high as it could. No, trees don't grow half. A tree drives its roots as deep as it can, reaches as high as it can, produces every leaf it can, every fruit it possibly can. To the max. Every life form strives to the max, except human beings. Now, why not human beings? Jot this down. You've been given the dignity of choice. You're not a robot. You don't have to repeat this year the same as last year. You can tear up last year's plan, develop a new plan.
It's gonna feel better when it's over. You know that when you get done doing the hard thing, you know you will feel better when it is done. You also know that if you don't do the hard thing, the thing that you don't want to do, that you don't feel like doing, you know if you don't do it, you're going to feel inferior. You know you're going to feel weak. Those are the two outcomes. One will cause you some short-term gratification. You'll get to sleep a little bit more. You won't have to put out during a workout. You don't have to do this tedious task. You'll get some short-term gratification, but the long-term regret will be strong and it will inflict pain on you. The other outcome is when you do what you're supposed to do. You do what you know you need to do to move forward. And when you do that thing, you know you're gonna feel strong and you're gonna feel gratified and you're gonna feel worthy of this life.
Easy choices, hard life. Hard choices, easy life.
And most of you in this room, you can't give up 6 months. You can't give up 8 months. You can't let stuff go for a few weeks. Some of you can't just let girls go. Let it go. Some of you just can't let parties go. Let it go. If you want to dominate in the area, you gotta let everything go but that thing you pursuing. You can't chase 2 rabbits and catch both of them.
The shortcut is a lie. The hack doesn't get you there. And if you want to take the easy road, it won't take you to where you want to be. There is no easy way. There is only hard work, late nights, early mornings, practice, rehearsal, repetition, study, sweat, blood, toil, frustration, and discipline.
Some of you are not successful because you think effort is success. You think because you put in 40 hours that you're supposed to get some because you put in 40. It don't work like that in the school of hard knocks. They don't care how many hours you put. They just want to see the execution. So you feeling in your spirit like, yo, but I did just as much as he did. I studied just as much as he studied. It doesn't matter. Rewards come after you work, not before. The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary.
But if you want it bad enough, you find a way. If you don't want it bad enough, you find an excuse. The difference between winners and losers find solutions. Or the losers find the excuse. Or the excuse finds them, something to make them happy to being second best, third best, middle of the field. You don't have to be that way, guys. This workout right now, about to go into Miami Fitness, hit a gym workout.
So your brain needs pressure. It needs constant pressure, and stress and pressure is not a bad thing. We have this thing where we feel like stress is bad. It's bad for you. Bad. You need to relax, man. You need to chill. Stress will kill you. No, being bored will kill you. Not having anything to do will kill you. Is much more dangerous than stress.
And trust me, ain't nobody else that can do what you do like you do. Smile wide, hold your head high, and when they ask you how you made it, you tell them, I believed in myself when nobody else did. Keep pushing, keep winning, and remember, it's always the underdogs who end up running the game. Trust me, that's why I'm running the game.
Manny Pacquiao, you're not on my level. Manny Pacquiao, you will never be on my level. Period. Simple and plain. Accept the loss and say, you know what, Mayweather, you know what? You was the better fighter. It's okay to be number 2. It's okay to be right behind me. It's okay.
One day you might look up and see me playing the game at 50. Never say never, because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion.
Yo, we all are great. We all should think that we're great. There's no reason for you to not think that you're great. If you don't think you're great, ask yourself why. Why don't you think the highest of yourself? When you do, people have no choice but to follow suit.
The odds were stacked against me. I won anyway, because I win.
You won because Edward Darby came forward. You got lucky.
Guys like you always think other people get lucky. I don't get lucky. I make my own luck.
Tired, 14 days, 13 days, whatever the hell it is, don't mean nothing. Tired is only in the mind. You tell yourself you're tired, you're gonna be tired. I don't get tired. Lake Show, we coming home.
You gotta get a little bit more intense about your life. You gotta stop being so casual. It's decisions we make that chase that best version of us every second, every day, because every day alters the direction of the course of our lives. We are losing control. and it's time to take control. You held up your someday. And here's the crazy part. All you got to do is look in the mirror. All you got to do is deal with yourself, and then we're going to get to a whole other level. At some point, you got to tell the flesh who's in control. I'm in control. You're not in control. I know you don't want to wake up. You don't have an option. Get up. There's a certain lifestyle we want. You need to discipline yourself. You need to learn to tell you no. You need to learn to tell you stop. You need to learn to tell you quit. Every single day, if you do what you say you're going to do, you're going to get what you dream to get. Some days you wake up, you in the mood. Some days you're not in the mood. A calendar does not care if it's your birthday, if it's a holiday, if you're not feeling good. A calendar does not care. A schedule does not care. So what happens is when you're consistent and you do something every day, you do it over and over and over again, it becomes a habit. More stuff comes to you when you execute, son. Execution, baby. We will do it by listing our priorities. We will do it by shutting everything else out. We will do it by saying no to everything that does not apply to our priority. We will do it by getting focused, laser focused. This will be the year that you stop half doing stuff. You stop half doing sports, half doing school, half writing that book. This will be the year of execution. And we'll do it one day at a time. And you're going to get control. And when you get control over that one area, you're going to blow up in every area. And then someday going to be your day. If you work for it, if you're willing to put in that sweat, that blood, and those tears, I'm telling you, you can have what you want, be what you want, do what you want.
When you put these restrictions up, and that's why my first question is, how bad do you want this? If it's as bad as you want to live or breathe or sleep, whatever the hell it may be, I can work with you. But a lot of people, most people don't want it that badly, which is why they always ask the question, man, how did you get to where you are? You know how to do it. You know exactly how to be you or how to be me. You don't want to do it. So I can't make you do it, nor do I have the time or energy to force you into that place that I know you have to be to do it. There's no luck in this game, man. It may be a little bit of luck, but the luck happens after you bust your ass.
And for you to go from where you are at 20 years old to where you want to be at 40 years old, you're going to have those sharpened over and over and over and again. So live that lifestyle. It's going to make things exponentially easier for you to get where you're going.
You can do the unthinkable. You can make all your milestones become a reality if it stops being a hobby. You're doing it when you feel like it. You're doing it when you get time. You're doing it on your lunch break. You're not serious. You're not eating it. You're not eating it. You're not dreaming it. It's not haunting your dreams at night. I'm telling you right now, there are those of you are going to do the unthinkable if you can shut it down. You got to shut the TV down. You got to shut certain people down. You are minimizing right now. And you need to optimize.
This is going to be a full commitment to creating the kind of person that can make the right decision even when it's the last thing they want to do. When they're tired, when they're sore, when they're hungry.
Looking over your shoulder, wondering, doubting, fearing, hurting, hoping for some easy way out. Struggling, grasping, confusing, itching, scratching, mumbling, bumbling, grumbling, humbling, stumbling, numbling, rambling, gambling, tumbling, stumbling, scrambling, hitching, hatching, bitching, moaning, groaning, honing, boning, horse shitting, hair splitting, nitpicking, piss trickling, nose sticking, ass gouging, eyeball poking, finger pointing, alleyway sneaking, long waiting, small stepping, evil eyeing, back scratching, searching, perching, besmirching, grinding away at yourself. Stop it and just do.
I want to see how far I can go. I want to see what I can accomplish. I want to see what I can do, what I can be, what I can have. I want to see. I don't want to see what I think I can do. I don't want to see what I think is possible. I want to see what my life would look like if I didn't count the cost, if I had the mentality that you gotta want it.
I'm going to try to be the best that I can be, the strongest, the fastest, the smartest human being that I can become, better than I was yesterday. Better than people thought I could be, better than I thought I could be.
When you cut this off, I want you to go look yourself in the mirror and I want you to vow.
Damn, Ron, come on!
no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
I listened to myself what I needed to do in my training setup and outside of the gym, and I executed them. I followed what I said to myself that I needed to do, and it's given me energy, it's given me focus, and I'm happy now. You know, I'm enjoying my training.
No, you're gonna always wonder, well, I have all this fucking money. Why do I feel like I feel like I'm missing something?
Right.
Because you didn't go out and achieve it on your own.
Relax
and let everything go to hell.
You're not in here to get an achievement. You're in here to pay your fucking dues, so later in life you never wonder what if.
Well, it's an opportunity. You get adversity. If you build yourself back, it's only gonna make you stronger, even if it doesn't work out. But a lot of times it does, if you really pursue it. And look what can happen. Break records. This people are gonna write books about. This is gonna be movies, you know what I mean? Like that type, that's what it's all about.
When you change yourself, you will change the world because you'll change how you see it.
What are you doing with your life, man? Why are you sitting around? Why are you waiting for shit to happen? It ain't gonna happen like that. Why are you feeling sorry for yourself? Why are you waiting for that fucking apology that's never gonna fucking come? People sit around waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and blaming and blaming.
You cannot wish for a strong character and an easy life. Each is the price of the other. What if what you're going through isn't hard? What if you're just sensitive?
It's either you have it or you don't. That sounds like excuses to me. I mean, you got to figure it out, right? If you really have an obsession to figure it out, you will figure it out, right? And every puzzle is constructed differently.
Every successful person has the habit of doing the things failures don't like to do.
Successful people do what they have to do, whether they feel like it or not. It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter if you're tired. It doesn't matter if you're overwhelmed. You find out a fucking way to overcome that challenge, and you make that shit happen.
Productivity is never an accident.
If you do it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every single day, if you keep grinding, you're gonna make your dreams a reality. But you gotta be obsessed with it.
I need you to know that the stuff that you want, millions of people want the same thing you want and will never get it. So why, you, and how? Only one way. Total immersion. Become a freak. Guys, I want to crack you open and I want to see that you're crazy, because only crazy people make it.
Why are you staying on the basketball court so much? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you out there practicing in the hot sun when ain't nobody else out there? Because I'm trying to get it. The more weird you are is a reflection of how committed you are to focusing on your molding and shaping and developing your ideas and your craft so that when it's time for you to make your rounds, you gonna fly.
I used to be upset because I wasn't getting where I wanted to get to, and then I realized you're not devoted to it. You're not giving 120%. You need to devote, which means you get all your energy, all your time, all your resources to a specific thing. You cut everything off, focus.
Dive into something with more passion, with more dedication than you have ever done in your entire life.
You need to work the hours no one else is willing to. You need to study harder than anyone else is willing to. You need to put more effort in on that project than anyone else would even think to.
What separates me from a lot of people is they go into a daunting task, and the task is overwhelming. Like when I heard the pull-up record was 4,020 pull-ups, and I was talking about breaking this record, I was breaking the math down. You have to be open-minded to the possibilities that I can do this. Once you shut your mind down to the possibility that it can be achieved, there's no way it can happen.
The more I work, the luckier I get.
Eat good. Stop drinking.
You know when you say to yourself, right, you know what you've got to do, right? We all know what we've got to do. We say to ourselves, I should do it this way, or I should do this. And when you don't do that, and then you carry on, you feel, you know, like I always say, doubt is removed by action. So if you're not working, then that's where the doubt seeps in. So I knew things I should have been doing and things I shouldn't have been doing, and I still did them and didn't do them, if you get me. But now I'm listening to myself, and I followed my internal instruction, and it's just given me more passion and more focus and more drive, and I'm doing what I feel I need to do, and it feels good.
Take ownership
of your mission. Take ownership of your job, of your team, of your future, and take ownership of your life.
I don't want you to be a fucking loser. What if you told people the story of, hey, I had a fucked up life, but I don't want to tell you that. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do next, and I'm going to go out and do it. Right? That is what self-development is about. That is what peak performance is about. That is what breaking through self-limiting beliefs is about. Is rewriting the story, because as long as you have breath in your lungs, as long as your heart is beating, as long as you have consciousness in your mind, you can go and rewrite the story of how your life ends and how your life continues from this day forward, the legacy that you live.
My grandfather walked 10 miles to work every day. My father walked 5. I'm driving a Cadillac. My son is in a Mercedes. Said my grandson will be in a Ferrari. But he said my great-grandson will be walking again. So I asked him, I said, well, why is that? And he said to me, tough times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men. Weak men create tough times. He said to me, many will not understand, but you have to raise warriors. That's what Coach instilled in me, and so many like me.
Lead yourself and your team and the people in your life. Lead them all to victory.
Because you're not aiming to meet people's expectations. You're aiming to amaze them. You can only become the best by outworking everybody else. Your level of dedication determines how far you will go.
You have to develop yourself and keep improving your game when everybody else is taking time off, relaxing.
It is the days you don't feel like doing it, but you look at your wife, you look at your kids, you look at the country, and you realize that I am where I am because of other people's sacrifice. I gotta get up and make it happen, even though I don't want to get up and make it happen.
To live the life only 1% of people do, you have to do what 99% of people won't.
If you don't like where you are right now, turn around and look at what you've done. You built every single step to create this. No accidents, just taking the easy road too many times, not getting up, not going for that extra rep, putting that extra mile in, the little inches of life that add up to be first place or forgotten.
The only thing you do for success is sweat, it's blood, it's tears. There are no shortcuts to success. Stop thinking there are. And stop wanting people to put you somewhere you didn't earn. You want the lifestyle, but you don't want to earn it. You gotta earn this. There is a price tag to greatness. You will have to work for every single thing you get. And you gotta work every single day. I need specifics. What are you doing on Monday? What are you doing on Tuesday? What are you doing on Wednesday? If you're going to get your personal freedom, you gotta go get it. You gotta go earn it. They ain't giving it away. The dream is real, but the lifestyle is realer. You want your dream to go on sale, it's never gonna go on sale. But if you want to be average, they giving the average out. They got discounts on goods. But if you want to be great, you gotta pay blood, you gotta pay sweat, you gotta pay tears, and you gotta pay every single day, every single time. There are no shortcuts to greatness. To be great, there are no days off. You cannot cheat success. You gotta work for it. You gotta breathe it. You gotta sleep it. You gotta eat it. You gotta put forth 120%.
It takes dedication, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes obsessive, compulsive, ridiculous amounts of effort. I realized I was on the right path because it stopped being easy. I'm tired as hell, but I'm not gonna complain because this is what I signed up for. So I'm gonna smile with goddamn tired eyes and realize everything I'm doing on a daily basis is for a reason.
You have to want it enough to give your all for it. There are no free lunches in life. You eat what you kill.
A buddy of mine calls me the other day and says he's having trouble running past 8 miles. This is a guy who can run 30 miles any time of the day. So I tell him to come out to my house and we'll get some runs in. So he comes out, he goes, man, I'm telling you, I can't run past 8 miles. But I realized in his life, he's added a new kid, more responsibilities at work, all this stuff. He's not thinking about this, I am. So I take him out for a run. We get 30 minutes into it. How far are we going, Goggins? I ain't tell him. Get an hour into it. I ain't tell him. Hour and a half into it, didn't tell him. So soon he shuts up. We run 3 hours. The guy does fine. Next day we go out there, he's able to run 20 miles again. So this is what happened to him. His circuit breaker blew. Our minds are very similar to circuit breakers. When they blow, you gotta figure out what it is. Sometimes you just added too much to your fucking plate. Go back in your mind and figure it out. Stay hard.
Imagine that you're in a movie, and imagine the movie begins now, and you're the hero of the movie.
Yeah.
What would that guy do?
Yeah.
What would that guy do right now?
Yeah.
Because you are.
Everything that you touch on a daily basis is required for really getting to where you want to go.
Do you get the promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Yes or no? No. Every year you work towards something, towards a goal, right? Which is to get a promotion, to be able to take care of your family, to be able, I don't know, provide the house for them or take care of your parents. You work towards a goal. It's not a failure. It's steps to success.
They believe that if it rains or snows or it's too windy, they may cancel the fucking marathon. They ain't canceling shit. You better train with whatever conditions they fucking give you. The person that usually fucking feels me, she's taking a day off in the car right now because it's too nasty. Don't do the same. Stay hard.
If you don't fail, you're not even trying. I'll say it again. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. My wife told me this great expression. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
It doesn't matter if you're stressed. It doesn't matter if you're hurt. It doesn't matter if you're upset. It doesn't matter if you're frustrated. If your discipline is on point, your mental toughness on point, you're going to be able to execute in spite of the situation being that way, and you're going to move forward whether you feel good or not.
The only way anything great ever gets done in this world, commitment, consistency.
Oh, I can imagine that, doing it every day? You're saying I can't do it anymore for 2 weeks and then quit? Most of you in here, you're quitters. You don't have consistency, you don't have control, you don't have discipline.
You want to be a champion, but you don't want to work like a champion. I dare you to give 120% and stop choking. Most of you won't be successful, not because you can't do it, but you can't outlast your old you long enough to get to your new you. I challenge you just to give a month where you say, for 30 straight days, every practice I'm putting in 120%. When I'm tired, I'm gonna keep going. You can't buy discipline, you can't buy drive, you can't buy effort either.
No matter how hard you work, there is somebody inside of you that works even harder. No matter how dedicated you are, there's somebody inside you that's more dedicated. No matter how committed you are, there's somebody inside of you that's more committed. I'm trying to get you to push yourself to a point that you have never been to before. Because when you get to that point, you're gonna propel to another dimension of your life.
Can't nobody stop you but you. You're not average, stop acting like it. You're not average. Why you being average? You not average. Why you being good when you not good? You great. When you gonna step up to the plate? Be greater than that.
What could you be if you worked as hard as you could? What could you be if you imposed real discipline in your life? What could you be?
You make those little changes, those little habits that you have to change them, those bad habits. And you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. The little things, the little changes, they add up and they become big things. Change the little things, and over time, you can change your life. But if you don't change what you're doing and how you do it, nothing else will change.
You can never get so far beyond scratch. What that means is, when you accomplish something in life, if you want to go back to scratch and go back to that $7 a month place where I once lived and visit that place for a long period of time. If you were here, when you went back to scratch, you would now be here. Scratch is what makes you better.
And you're gonna fail, and you're gonna fail, and you're gonna fail, and you're gonna fail, and then you're gonna win. And that's life.
We sat down and we played several other games. And finally, after the 11th game, John Leslie won, and he got up and he yawned. And he said, I'm ready to go to sleep now. And I'm saying to you, what if all of us took that attitude after we face a rejection and a no, or we have a meeting and no one shows up, or somebody say, you can count on me, and they don't come through. What if we have that kind of attitude? The car's repossessed. Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day, and say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
There's patience, the thing that goes beyond hustle and hard work.
I want to see how far I can go. I want to see what I can accomplish. I want to see what I can do, what I can be, what I can have. I want to see what my life would look like if I didn't count the cost. You get to a point where you don't count the cost. You just do whatever it takes to get whatever you want. Every single day when I wake up, every minute of the day, every hour of the day, I have an opportunity to give 120%, to give blood, sweat, and tears. Every opportunity is the last opportunity. Every opportunity I have to reprove myself again, because the day you become content is the day you die. It's all or nothing. It's all day, every day. What you did last week don't count. Today is the only important day. You got 86,400 seconds in a day. And what you do today is going to determine how far you go. What do you do when 1,000 other people want exactly what you want?
Sometimes it ain't about who the most talented and gifted. When talent meets talent, talent is no longer enough. Now it's about who has character. Now it's about who has integrity. Now it's about who's dedicated, who's committed. Now it's about who's gonna show up on time. Now it's about who's willing to do extra.
It only takes one extra push-up. It only takes one extra mile. It only takes one extra grade. It only takes one extra effort. It only takes one extra something to get you to where you're trying to get to. And the goal is you gotta go a little further than the man who's trying to get what you're trying to get. You have to outwork them. You gotta outbind them. You gotta get up earlier. You gotta stay up later. You gotta embody excellence.
So you got to prepare yourself. You've got to develop yourself. You've got to practice. You've got to work. You've got to do your homework. You've got to do your research. It's not easy, but through practice and practice and practice, practice makes improvement. And competency builds confidence. And confidence feeds into competency. See, the better you become, the more confident you feel. And the more confident you feel, the better you want to become. You can always better your best. You can always go beyond anything that you have ever done. You never hit a state of perfection. You're always bigger than what you do. You realize that you have no ceiling, that you can better whatever you've done so far. You can go beyond that. You don't become cocky and arrogant, feeling that you've already arrived, as most people have. No, as long as you're breathing, you got some more work to do. There's something else for you to achieve.
Don't base your life satisfaction on circumstances where you have no influence on. If you have, well, then change them in a way that serve you. But there are many things we don't have.
Sometimes all you need is 20 seconds of insane courage. Just literally 20 seconds of just embarrassing bravery. And I promise you, something great will come of it.
What is the one spy trick you would teach everyone that they can use to improve their life instantly?
Winners win and losers lose. I can't explain it any better than that. I don't know how it happens, but winners win. And if you create a culture of losing, if you keep being a victim, if you keep letting losing happen to you, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's going to become a culture.
You cannot leave. A real warrior never quits. Why didn't you quit? You knew I was trying to get rid of you, yet you stayed.
Yeah, I stayed. I stayed because every time you threw a brick at my head or said I smelled, it hurt. But it could never hurt more than it did every day of my life just being me. I stayed because I thought if anyone could change me, could make me not me, it was you.
What do you do when life knocks you down? When everything you've worked for seems to crumble and you're left staring at the pieces. The difference between those who rise and those who stay defeated isn't talent or luck. It's the will to get back up over and over again, no matter how hard the fall. Imagine this: you've been working towards a goal, pouring your heart and soul into it. But just when you think you're close to achieving it, something unexpected happens. You're hit hard, knocked down by life in a way you never saw coming. It's painful, and the disappointment feels almost unbearable. You look around, and it feels like the world is moving on without you. Like you're stuck in a moment of defeat, while everything else keeps spinning.
I think I learned in life, you can never bring somebody up if they don't want to go up. You can't. No matter how good you think you are, no matter how much you want to tell them, you can help them. If they don't want to go up, there's nothing you can do.
You're walking in the room with people who are envious. You're walking in the room with people who are jealous. You're walking in the room with people who can't stand you. You're walking in the room with people who are only with you because of what you could do for them. You're walking in the room with people who are literally your enemies, and you're wondering why you're not blowing up. They don't have the energy. They don't have the love.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
No more excuses. Like from this day forward, I'm not gonna be getting pumped up. I'm not just gonna be fired up. I'm about to start applying. Because listen to me very closely. The difference between people who talk about it and people who do it is one simple word: application. They hear it, and they don't just hear it, they digest it. And when they digest it, boom, they do something with it. I don't need you to learn a lot of stuff this year. I don't need you to learn 40 things this year. If you can learn one thing, I'm talking about learn it. I'm talking about put it deep within. Not you hear it, not you read it, not you see it. If you can give me one principle a month that you own, that becomes a part of who you are, that changes how you think, that changes how you behave. If you can become an executor, if you can execute.
When they're stressed, when they're frustrated, when they're angry, when the world is crashing down on their shoulders, they will still make the right decision. Your only solution is to become that kind of a person. Start today. And in 365 days, you will look back and you will say, that was the day. That was the day that everything changed. That was the day that my life changed. That was the day that my family changed. That was the day my community changed, my state changed, and my country changed. Because I changed.
This is where most people give up. They let the fear of another failure keep them down. They start to believe that maybe, just maybe, they weren't meant to succeed in the first place. But here's the thing: falling down isn't the end of your story. In fact, it's just the beginning of a new chapter. When you're lying there on the ground, feeling the sting of failure, you have a choice to make. You can either stay there, lamenting over what could have been, or you can summon the courage to get back up and try again. It's not easy. Nobody said it would be. But the strength to rise comes from the very depths of those difficult moments. It's forged in the fires of your hardest battles, in the times when you feel like you have nothing left to give.
Looks like the winds are changing.
Change is good.
Yeah, but it's not easy. I know what I have to do, but going back means I'll have to face my past. I've been running from it for so long.
Ow! Jeez, what was that for?
It doesn't matter. It's in the past.
Yeah, but it still hurts.
Oh, yes, the past can hurt. But the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it.
Sometimes the best way to solve your own problems is to help someone else.
You can't shortcut success. You gotta grind, and you gotta put in the time.
If you had the qualities of fortitude, grit, discipline, mental toughness, you wouldn't need a program for your finances. You wouldn't need another fitness program. You would understand how to execute. The missing link is and always has been you.
In order to be the best, in order to get to the next level, you gotta sacrifice. You gotta be willing to do whatever you're asked to do. There are no shortcuts to success. There are no discounts to success. It's always sweat. It's always blood. It's always tears. You always have to give all to be the best.
I'm not gonna sit around and wait for good things to happen to me. I'm gonna grind. I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna do everything in my power to become the very best version of me.
When you do the things most people aren't willing to do, you will live the life most people never will.
If you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it.
If you stay in bed, if you stay on the couch, if you stay in your comfort zone, if you only do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, if you get up, if you grind, if you are relentless, if you work as hard as possible, when other people are slacking off, your life will be easy.
1 + 1 is always going to equal 2. 2 + 2 is going to equal 4. And 10 years of work when everybody else is partying, making excuses, doing the cool thing on the weekend is going to pay off.
I will never quit. Because if you quit, you're done. You may still be alive walking around on this earth. You're done. I will never quit. I will persevere and I will thrive on adversity. My team expects me to be physically harder and mentally stronger than our opponents. I hold myself to that standard. I will be physically harder and mentally stronger than anything that comes against me, my family, my business, my brothers, my sisters, my team. I will be the one that is physically harder and mentally stronger, and I will work to maintain that position.
Stay focused and don't listen to anybody. Don't listen to anybody, because what's on your mind will affect the outcome, and what's written for you is already written. You just need to create the play.
The success is largely going to be determined by who has the most self-discipline.
Be careful what you wish for, Admiral. History is not always kind to its subject.
I'm tired.
Then you should rest. A man needs his rest. You sound like my nephew. Always thinking you need to do things on your own without anyone's support.
Too tired, too hungry, too sore, too hot, too cold, too whatever. People ask me what I do when I get those little feelings running around. Well, let me tell you what I don't do. I don't tell everybody. As a matter of fact, I don't even let those words run around inside my own brain housing group. I keep it secure, lock it down.
To me, this is an everyday gig. Every day is a Monday, an opportunity to come out of the gate like a man possessed and attack the day without mercy. Today, I'm taking scalps. I'm putting the pressure on. I'm the aggressor. I'm on the attack.
You think you're gonna get 50%? You think you're gonna get 70%? You think you're gonna get 80? There is no discount. You can't get 50% off. There are no shortcuts to success. Stop thinking they are. And stop wanting people to put you somewhere that you didn't earn. The real beast is when their legs give out. The real beast when they tired. The real beast find a way to pull something out when nobody else ain't got nothing. When you really want it, you no longer hit the snooze button. You no longer lose focus when you're studying. You no longer take shortcuts. You are willing to do whatever it takes. And that means getting up early, going to bed late. That means you don't go to sleep when you're tired. You go when you're done. You might have put in some time, but you didn't put in the time. Yep, you did some workout. Yep, you studied a little bit. Yeah, you put in some time, but you ain't put in the time. The time that's required to make your dreams become a reality.
The life you want is on the other side of a few hard conversations, and you're living a life you hate because you're too afraid to have them.
Your story may not have such a happy beginning, but that doesn't make you who you are. It is the rest of your story, who you choose to be.
I have got to be running towards the thing that I want to do and not walking towards it, not, I really don't feel like doing this, or why did I agree to do this, or why did I get into this business with somebody at such, I got to be running to it.
People think that you are not a threat, but I know differently.
Devil is in it. You have many gifts. And Vujicic, what is in here is a gift. You do not think like other men. You are angry. That will serve you well. Use your anger intelligently. And I promise you, my son, that one day the whole world will know and fear.
I get frustrated with humans when somebody's late and they upset. I get frustrated with humans when somebody borrows money from you and they don't pay it back and you upset. I get upset with humans when you go out to eat and they don't bring your food out the way you want your food out and you are so upset and you let them have it, but then you disappoint you when you don't let you have it. You give you a pass. You give you a pass. You're not where you're supposed to be financially and you gave yourself a pass. You know you better than that. You know you should be further in life, but you keep letting you slide.
That thing that's holding you back, that thing that's dragging you down, that thing is you.
I need you to confront you because you're the one holding you up. I need you to confront you. I need you to look in the mirror and tell you, you are not gonna do me like this no more. You're not gonna continue to sabotage me. You're not. You're not gonna keep procrastinating. I need you. You're not.
You're not a loser. You've just made decisions that have created an environment that feels like it. Go look in the mirror. Take responsibility for where you are and admit to yourself that you are where you are because of decisions that you made, because of weakness that you had, because of your lack of ability to do the hard things when things got hard. That's why you are where you are. And start right now fixing that. Start making better decisions right now, and before you know it, you'll be living a different life.
The only person you can control is you. So focus on making yourself who you want to be. Discipline your body. Get up early and go. Get after it, and you'll become the person you want to be. And you become that person through one small decision at a time.
Become the person who cannot quit. Become the person who can say no to the things that they know they're supposed to say no to. Become the person who makes the right decision regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the hardships, regardless of the pain, regardless of the frustration. If you become that person, you have no limits in your life. There is no stopping that person.
You in 3 and you got 6 gears, but you're accustomed to 3, you're accustomed to 4. I challenge you to push it to all the gears you got.
Make that day today.